Thank you for coming this morning to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Revere D.P.W. I am Julie LeDuc from Hill International, and on behalf of myself and the late Simon Tempest, I'd like to welcome you all to here today. This project has been ongoing since 2017 when they first did the feasibility study, and it is very exciting for us to be able to be here today to break ground on such a momentous occasion. These DPW workers are the heart and soul of your city, and I'd have to say that they are well deserving of this beautiful facility that we're going to build for them. We all hope you will all return in the fall of 2023, for the ribbon cutting ceremony. Within the next 12 months, we will have this building up and erected, and they will all have a new home. So we are very thankful for that. I'd like to just take a quick moment to introduce our team. Like I said, I'm Julie LeDuc from Hill International. I'm your owner's project manager. With me is Rob Genino and Peter Martini from Hill International. On behalf of the architects, DeGiorgio and Associates, we have Sergio Abondado, as well as our contractors behind me. We have G.V. Wattendorf, Mark Frazier, Nunzio Moretti, and Dat Wen. So I hope that you all are appreciating this beautiful day that we got to spend together. So having said that, enjoy the ceremony today, and I'm going to introduce your mayor, Brian Arrigo.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the future site of Revere D.P.W. Before we begin, I do want to acknowledge a number of people who were critical in us being here as a community, and I'm going to start with the elected partners that we have at the state and local level. And we have with us Representative Jessica Genino, Representative Jeff Charco, City Council President Jerry Visconti, City Council members Joanne McKenna, Ira Novoselsky, and Anthony Cogliandro. And of course, I want to thank and celebrate truly all of the incredibly hardworking men and women of the Revere D.P.W., many of which are behind me. No matter what part of the story of our DPW that you share with all of us, we could not have been here, and we would not be here without all of you. I know that a lot of the work that many of you do is and can be and can feel thankless. But as Julie said, you truly are the heart and soul of our community, and you are incredibly vital to the way that our city operates and the direction that the city's going. And I admire each and every one of you. I admire your dedication to our city, and on behalf of our residents, I want to thank you, because you always show up. You know, we talk about police and fire, and I love my public safety folks, but DPW is right there with our public safety folks who are there for a crisis, there during a blizzard, there during COVID, there during a heat wave, and you know, they do it proudly. And so as I thought about what I was going to say today, I had a lot of memories, some good, some bad, about the journey that brought us here. I do remember one of the first communications that I brought before the City Council was for the feasibility study for us to take a look at building a new DPW. And I think at that time a lot of people thought there was no way we'd ever get to this day. And it took a lot of time, no doubt, and a lot of hard work, but here we are today. And I think many of you will remember some of the bad memories I have, which are our DPW going viral with some videos of rain leaking through the ceilings, dripping onto computer work surfaces, workspaces. Really just not a good look for our community. And we knew going in that for decades people were begging for something to be done. And I know many of the men and women behind us were part of that. And to go from a time where we had literally tarps being thrown on top of desks, and as we watched for decades the building deteriorate before our eyes, and to now go fast forward to today where the memories of that building are long gone, and we have a brighter future. And the reason that we're gathered here today is because a lot of those bad memories are long past and they're finally behind us. And so today officially marks a new chapter. I think that's why it was so important for us to do this today, both for the City of Revere and for our Department of Public Works, because we are officially breaking ground on a new DPW. And this brand new state-of-the-art facility will obviously allow for better office space and training rooms and the proper maintenance of equipment. But truly it's about showing the respect that we have for the men and women who work on behalf of our residents throughout every crisis, throughout every snowstorm, every major event that we have. They're first responders. And I will make one promise today: there will be no more rain inside of any of the buildings that we have. And today is truly a testament to the hard work that has gotten us to this point. And as we've talked about in our city, we're growing, and we announced earlier this year that we'll be doing $50 million in infrastructure work over the next 3 years. And that's no easy task. And it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and the men and women behind us are the ones who will make that happen. And so obviously making an investment in them and making this investment on this property is investing in the future of Revere. And so we're happy that we're here today, and I just want to say congratulations to the folks behind us, because they are truly the next chapter of the DPW in our city. So let's hear it for them. With that, I want to bring up a couple of people who are going to say a few words. The first is Jessica Genino, State Representative. Jessica was thankfully on the City Council at the time when we brought this forward, and I think everyone at that point, early on in my first term, understood the need. But Jessica and I had heard from our first day on the City Council together the need to invest in DPW, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be able to introduce her and have her say a few words. So, Jess, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good morning, everyone. I will say from 5 years ago, from sitting in the City Council and hearing the proposals for the first plan for the DPW to standing here today, it has been quite 5 years that I don't think any of us could have anticipated. I think what's important to note today is that when the people of Revere call the elected officials that are standing here today, when they call the mayor's office, when they call my office, because there's a pothole, because their street hasn't been plowed, because they're having an issue with their water pressure, because their house is flooding, because a culvert needs to be cleaned, these are the guys that are doing it. It's the men and women from the DPW that make it possible for us to offer the services that we do to the city of Revere. It's not us. I'm not out in the trenches, it's these guys. And it covers such a large spectrum of different services in the city. The DPW really is behind the police, behind the fire, behind our parks and recs. Every event that you watch and you participate in the city, these guys have a hand in making sure it runs smoothly, that it runs safely, and that every service in the city is taken care of. On days like this, if it's 100 degrees outside or if it's negative 20 and we're in a blizzard, they're on the front lines. And it really was important to myself when I got elected, and I know the mayor, to make sure that they felt that they were being appreciated, that they had a safe space to work, because they spent their career making sure that other places in the city were safe and that people could enjoy them. And they went back to a building where there were tarps over their computers, and they didn't feel appreciated, and they didn't have what they needed to provide those services for the city. So I'm proud to say that 5 years later, I think they do. I think in a few years or in a year, we're going to have a beautiful structure here with equipment that's needed, with tools that are needed, that our offices, Rep. Charco, myself, and the mayor have got funding for some tools to be able to keep up with culverts in Ward 6, to the hot boxes that we got in the city councils a few years ago to make sure that potholes are filled. But it's all these services together that are so vital to our city to make sure that our residents have what they need. But I really think it's important that we recognize the men and women behind us, because, you know, under Don Charmella and Paul Argenzio, they make it happen. So thank you guys.
And next, I'll ask Rep. Charco to come up and say a few words. I know, Rep, you've been instrumental in making sure that we do have the resources at the state level, along with Rep. Genino. And I want to thank you for all the support that you've provided to not only the city of Revere, but definitely to the men and women behind us in terms of the great work that they do. So, Rep. Charco, come on up.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I apologize for having my back to you, but that's the way we get this going. You know, Paul Harvey used to, the famous radio guy, used to have the show on the radio. Would say, like, "And God made a farmer, and God made a fireman, and a policeman." You know, I think he should have also done one about God made a DPW worker, because when you think of the work that you guys do in sub-zero weather, in blistering heat, it's pretty amazing, from the big and the small projects to also little things like setting up this podium when we go to different events. But I think, as much, you know, so we thank you for your work on behalf of the residents of Revere. But I also think this event today is about political leadership, and the mayor and the city council working together. You know, when you build a school, parents and children are there, and you get a lot of big positives politically. When you build a police station and a fire station, you get a lot of positives. But no member of the public comes to a DPW groundbreaking, right? But yet you get a mayor and you get a city council that said this is critically important to the well-being of the city of Revere, that we have the best situation we can for our DPW workers to have a building that's state-of-the-art, and we're going to invest in that infrastructure as our city grows. And so I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, because it would have been easy not to spend the kind of money that we're spending to build this facility. It would have been easy to spend it on other things that the public likes politically, but yet you and the city council made a commitment to the people of Revere and to the people that make this city run day by day, you know, without any, you know, without too much praise, not enough praise. And so I think that it's worth thanking you for what you do every day. And finally, I look forward to being back here in, you said 23, the fall of 23, right? And I just want to end with a quick remembrance of the former, I think it was the water commissioner, but a longtime family friend, Skippy Giovanni, recently died. And he was a good man, a good family friend, and I love the guy, and I miss him. And I thank him and his family for his years of dedicated service to the people of Revere. God bless Skippy. Thanks.
Jerry, you want to say anything? Jerry first. Yeah. Next up, I have to move the mic because of Charco, but go sit in the hole. So next up, I want to invite our council president, Jerry Visconti, because as Rep. Charco mentioned, it does take political will. There isn't, you know, there aren't a lot of people who are clamoring for the city to build a new DPW facility. But we knew, in terms of the operation of the city and as leaders in the community, that this is vitally important for the city and for the operation, and to make sure that people understand that the city does look better because of the investments we made with the men and women behind us. So, Council President Visconti, please come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to be brief. I wasn't on the council 5 years ago, so in addition to thanking the administration, I also want to thank the colleagues, my current colleagues on the city council, as well as the past colleagues that really made this happen. Because without the funding, we're not getting this done. And it's an honor to serve with all of you as well as council president. And it's an honor to be here today knowing that this project is finally up and running. And it's because of these people, like Madam Rep said, that these people are the ones in the trenches. You know, our public safety is so important to our community, but these people do the things and really get no notice, and they do it willingly, okay? Whether it's in the summer, whether it's in the winter, they're out there in the trenches working hard, making sure that the streets are paved and any problems with the water department gets resolved. So I want to thank these people. It's well deserved. I couldn't be honored to be here on this day, and look forward to the groundbreaking ceremony because it's going to be one hell of a building. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so next up we will have a council member who was there and was in my ear from the day that I got elected mayor, and we had many conversations prior to that even about the investment in DPW and the reward that we would see if we made those strategic investments in our DPW, and we've seen it over the last several years. And I want to introduce Ward 2 City Councilor Ira Novoselsky.
Well, thank you. A lot has been said by the prior speakers, but just a little history. I was on the city council when the old Public Works facility was on Broadway, where Rite Aid is right now. And I remember them moving up here when we bought the building up here, and as chairman of the Public Works subcommittee in the city council, it's always been my dream that this day would come. It's been 9 years, even before the mayor was on the council, that I put the original motion in that we build a facility for these guys and gals. They're the heart of my soul. I love them. They do a lot for me. I know they do a lot for all the ward councilors, but you know, I believe they are first responders to me, same as police and fire. You know, and honestly, they should be paid as first responders. It's great that we're here today. I look forward to a new building. I look forward to the ribbon cutting, and I'm just glad to be here. So thank you very much.
I didn't get the hook quick enough. Finally, we're going to close out. I want to have our Chief of Infrastructure say a few words. Donnie has been a driving force in making sure we got to this day. We've had some fits and starts with the project, and as I said, we went back many years ago with a feasibility study, and here we are today, and in no short part because of what Donnie's been able to provide to the city. So I'm going to have Donnie Charmellis say a few words. Donnie.
Hi. Thank you. All the people I have to lower at the lowest. I'm not good at ad lib, but these words that I kind of wrote last night were basically from the heart. And I do want to say that I always have the support of the mayor, and I have the support of councilors. I think over the years we've developed a good rapport. And I'd like to thank everybody in attendance today and everyone that has supported Revere's D.P.W. and the water and sewer departments over the last 6 years. I would especially like to thank the mayor's administration for helping us rebuild the city of Revere's D.P.W. department brick by brick, truck by truck. This administration recognized the importance of giving the city workers the proper equipment and tools to keep Revere operating and delivering proper and reliable city services to all of Revere residents. no matter what the time of day is, or no matter what the emergency is. So I also want to thank the support of my people that work with me. They always answer the phone calls when I call, whether it be a water break, sewer block. They're always there, and I have to say that they're never, not answering the phone, which is amazing. They're home, but they interrupt their own lives and daily activities, particularly on a weekend, to answer my phone call, which is to me is a tremendous feeling. So I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank the support of my DPW staff. Thank you.
Throwing some dirt now?
Yeah. Okay, now what we've all been waiting for. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Charmello, please grab a shovel.